border yesterday with Ben Bergquam and the great team at Real America's Voice. Also augmented by Oscar El Blue from Border News Network. Let's go now to the border. Ben Bergquam, Oscar El Blue. Get us up to date on what's going on, guys.
Hey, Steve, we're back here. The caravans, or the tent city, continues to grow behind us. This is actually the start of it, where people were supposed to initially get in line to get a number for their asylum, the asylum process. That number continues to grow. And in talking to Blue yesterday, what we're hearing is there's concern that the cartels are actually coming in. The coyotes are coming in at night. Not the literal coyotes that Joe Biden talked about in the debates, but actual cartel coyotes coming in and taking people, offering to get them across the border. I went to one of those locations this morning and was able to document that process, where you have cartel scouts, lookouts on tops of these mountains. They occupy the high ground, and then they send people over. And when you think about that, most people say, well, we talk about people having to pay to get across the border. Well, a lot of times they're paying by carrying contraband, by either selling themselves into the sex trade, or a whole number of illicit other opportunities to get them across the border. Today I found a guy up on top with a backpack on. Now who knows if he was working for the cartel. I actually caught him right before he was about to jump the wall. But that's one of the things. The people that come out here, a lot of them, they've escaped terrible, desperate situations in their home countries. Now they're here, and then they get approached by somebody who says, we can get you across the border. Little do they know that they end up being sold into a life of sex and crime.
Yeah, I tell you what, we got such wind in the background. Can we see if Denver can take care of that? And let's bring in Marianne Mendoza. We'll take Marianne and let's try to sort out what's happening at the border. Let's go back to the border. Got Oscar El Blue from Border News Network, and of course the one and only Ben Bergquam, our traveling correspondent for Real America's Voice. Just one last thing. You said it's a crisis there on the Tijuana side. Does this burden, Oscar, get put on the elites of Mexico, the 7 families that kind of run the country, or the political elite? Or is the burden of this migrant village, which it looks like it's expanding every day, it's got Biden signs everywhere, is that burden put on the backs of the working people, men and women of Tijuana? Who bears the burden there of all the expense it takes to support that, and also the crime that comes out of there? All the additional disease that comes out of there, and this is not to demonize the folks coming up from Central America, right? They're actually rational. They're seeing incentives to get across into North America, where clearly there's going to be a better deal given the shapes of their country. So they're responding to incentives. But who bears the price down there? The wealthy elite that run the country, or the working class people in Tijuana?
Well, right now, the ones that we have been responsible since 2018, since Mexico re-signed the Globalist Compact of Immigration, has been the Mexican people. And Tijuana people have been the one that we have been paying all the federal funded shelters and everything that these people need. The Globalist Compact talks about we need to pay them for schools, money, give them education, give them everything that they need, their comfort, before they migrate to the United States of America. And Tijuana citizens, we have been completely responsible for that. All the shelters have been Tijuana funded. Now, you got nonprofit organizations that they're coming from the United States of America, and they're pushing a lot of fake families, a lot of fake marriages, a lot of irregularities that they can cheat on loopholes, and they're coming and they're participating and trying to help. But a lot of nonprofits are good, a lot of nonprofits are really bad, and they're complicating, and they're making the migration factor look really bad in our city. So Tijuana citizens are paying a high price for this globalist migration that is happening in our border.
Oscar, thank you very much. Ben, last question. This builds every day. What do people there, when you talk to them, you see the Biden signs, the Biden T-shirts, Joe Biden let me in, Biden 2020. What do they, when you go around and talk to people at the camps, what do they anticipate is going to happen? Do they think they're automatically going to get in the United States? I mean, are they anticipating they're going to be in the U.S. and eventually, because of this radical amnesty bill, get citizenship, be allowed to vote? I mean, in the minds of the people at the camps that you've talked to, what do they think their real status is?
Yeah, it's just like we see from the propaganda media in America. The lies continue to be told. The mainstream media continues to push those lies. And so a lot of the people you talk to here think that Biden is the savior, that Biden's going to save their day, that everyone here is going to be let in. But as the days and weeks and potentially months go by, they're going to start to realize that that's not the case. And if that ends up happening, when they do get in, America is going to realize that Biden is America last, where President Trump was America first. We're actually right next to the place, right across the canal here, where they tried to invade, where they tried to storm it just last year. And we saw the National Guards out there, and they were shooting tear gas. What I anticipate happening is if something doesn't give here soon in the next couple weeks, we're going to see more pushes like that towards America, towards our Border Patrol, towards our law enforcement. And this is at the same time while we have these radical Democrats who just announced today that they sent a letter to our Secretary of State to call on the Mexican government to stop using their military force to police the cartels in Mexico. It's insane. It is absolutely insane, and it's driven by radical leftist, globalist, Marxists around the world. And the only way we stop it is if we continue to grow the populist movement that we see growing in America, as well as Guatemala, and even here in Mexico. From what you heard from Blue, Tijuana residents and Mexican residents are realizing these guys aren't on their side.
I just want to real quickly follow up on that Democratic letter about the cartels. Is there any doubt in anybody's mind down there that the cartels are a criminal organization that care nothing about human life? That all those people in the camp is they're just looking to monetize those bodies, and they could care less about what their fate is. Is there any doubt down there among people about what the cartels really represent?
You know, it's unreasonable what these 19 Congress people, they just wrote a letter to the press secretary, and they told them that we need civil police instead of the military. It is just amazing to believe that, you know, if I come to another Tijuana citizen and tell them, hey, you know what, they want civil police instead of the military. What Mexican citizens we want is actual protection. There's more than 80,000 deaths in the first 2 years of AMLO becoming the most unsecure president in history, in Mexican history. And now you got all these 19 Democrats that just wrote a letter to say that they want civil police instead of the military. The cartel over here has more artillery than our own military, and you want to put civil police. It's just amazing.
So the answer is no. They know how bad the cartel is. Everyone who lives it, because they live with that threat every single day, Steve.
Ben Bergquam, Real America's Voice. Oscar L. Blue from Border News Network. Thank you very much. Another fabulous report. Really appreciate it. We'll get your social media up in a few minutes. Thank you.